Yo, what's good, man? MBS Central, MBS Uncensored. We're back at it again. I'm your boy Keo, man. And you know why we here? We're here to talk about the fight. The fight that just happened. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Frank Martin. Battle of the Undefeateds. Highly anticipated matchup. Great promo behind it. Also, they also had Benavides fighting. Also, he jumped into the new weight class, does his thing, wins a unanimous decision, dominated the fight. Definitely a great, impressive fight, man. This was just a one-sided fight, in my opinion. He won this very unanimously, the way we normally see Benavides fights. But this is why we're not here, man. The reason why we are here is to talk about, man, Gervonta Tank Davis. Frank Martin went down, man. Well, I was wrong about this fight. um, Javante Davis wins in a knockout fashion in the eighth round, drops him, puts him to sleep, couldn't get back up, which was very disappointing on my behalf because I had him winning. Um, this fight, I felt like this was the most that Gervonta has been challenged. I felt like this is the most that pressure that Gervonta Davis has had. As you've seen in this fight, Frank Martin had him on the ropes, and he definitely applied pressure to him on this fight because before this knockout, he knocked him out. Okay, cool. He knocked him out. But before this knockout, I had Frank Martin winning this fight going into 8 rounds by a score of 68-65. Yes, 68-65. I felt like he was winning majority of this fight. I guess you could say I had them up 2 rounds. I guess you could say I had them 2 rounds. This fight, um, if you look at the CompuBox numbers, I love to look at that because that's how I determine thing. I'm an analytic type of guy. So Frank Martin actually landed more punches in this fight. He threw more in this fight. The only thing that you give Tank Davis an advantage to is the power shots. The power shots was a huge difference. It definitely had a huge impact in this fight. And obviously, Gervonta was going for the body shots. But outside of that, if you go with jabs, um, Frank Martin had more jabs, landed more jabs than him. You look at total punches, he definitely landed more than him. Tank actually threw less in this fight. I think things started to increasing for Tank Davis as the fight went through. The first round, he only landed 3 punches in this fight. Second round, four. I think the third and fourth round, it was kind of split even between them because he landed 10. Frank Martin landed 10. He landed 11 in the fourth round. Frank Martin landed 11 the round. Fifth round, Frank Martin won that fight. He landed 13-11. I think in the sixth and seventh round, that's when he started picking it up. The sixth round, he landed 11 to Frank's 8. Seventh round was his best round. He landed a total of 19 punches in the seventh round and obviously the eighth round. The eighth round was actually close though. They nearly landed the same amount of punches, but obviously the knockout had a huge impact. I thought, but his power shots did have a huge impact and scored him a lot of points. But I did have Frank Martin up in this fight 68-65, at least 2 rounds in this fight. I think he controlled he dictated the tempo and he controlled the momentum of this fight. Obviously, going into the last 2 rounds, I think that's when things kind of started changing. he was still chasing him. And like I said, going into the eighth, he was still behind. He was like the announcer said, he was closing the gap in this fight. We don't know what would have happened if there was a knockout. That's all Frank Martin's fault, man. That's shame on him. He let his hands down. I don't know why you would let your hands down on somebody like Gervonta Tank Davis, man. You just make him look like an expert, man. Because he basically called the fight, say a knockout, where it's gonna be at, all of that, man, and just makes him look like a damn genius. And I said some things. I said, hey, he's gonna get lucky in this fight. And obviously, um, saying that he was gonna get lucky in this fight. I thought he did. I thought he got lucky. If it wasn't for the knockout, who knows what would have happened in this fight? This was a really good fight, a close fight, lived up to expectations and all that. I do think Tank got caught with a couple of holdings that, I felt like he got away with. Low blow. Felt like he got away with a low blow. They didn't even deduct a point away. Give him a freaking warning for crying out loud. And I mean, it is what it is, though. It's boxing at the end of the day. I'm just giving you my opinion, how I feel towards the fight. And a lot of people make it seem like Gervonta can't be beat. I think he can't be beat, and Frank Martin proved it tonight. So I would be worried if I'm from in Gervonta's camp because he was battered up. He was bruised up. He would look really red in this fight. His face looked really red in this fight. Um, Now as far as what's next for them, I'm not sure what's next for Frank Martin. A lot of people felt like he shouldn't have take for Gervonta. A lot of people felt like it was too early to take this fight, that he should have taken Shakur Stevenson's. But obviously, he felt like he was ready, and I feel like he was ready. But obviously, Tank had different plans for him. As far as Tank goes, I mean, you still got Shakur Stevenson. People want to see that fight. People don't know Shakur is fighting the last guy that Frank Martin beat. So that's gonna be interesting. Obviously, I got Shakur Stevenson in this fight. They asked about Shakur Stevenson. They asked about Lomachenko. I kind of felt like he was dunking Lomachenko, man. Tank and Lomachenko needs to happen. It's been talking about so long. I think the stock went down with Lomachenko when he took a hit to Tiafimo and then losing to Devin Haney. But I think he's back up in that stock, man, and he's about on that talk again when it comes to Lomachenko. So Lomachenko and Tank, I think that's the fight. I think he's gonna give. I think Lomachenko could give him a run for his money. Cause Lomachenko, when you think of Lomachenko, he is the definition of a complete boxer. He could beat you different ways. And I think he could hang with Tank Davis, even though I think Tank has more of that power. But power sometimes it don't go the way you want to though. Um, Once again, man, this was a good fight, solid fight, great night for boxing, along with Benavides also. Tank retains the title, eighth round knockout. And despite how I feel towards this man, he won at the end of the day. I could say he got lucky. I could say he should have got points taken away. I could have said, I could say he was up in the fight, but at the end of the day, he got knocked out. Frank Martin got knocked out. No excuses, man. That's it. Should have get his damn hands up, man. I don't know how many times I keep explaining that. But with that being said, man, I just want to give you a quick recap of the Tank Davis Frank Martin fight. Until next time, this is MBS Uncensored. We'll see you guys next time.